What's up? So my control tab button actually switches between, yeah, I'm broadcasting. Okay. I thought I had a smooth little transition here. I actually even killed the music, go figure. One more time. Alright. Welcome. Wahaha. And special thanks to IlDerek3333, that's 4 threes, for being the 80th subscriber to I Am Is and Isn't. That's I Am Is and Isn't. Anyway, I'm making a multiplayer online role-playing game as massive as possible. I don't really, the intention is to make it, I think it's sillier than any MMO that if you're the only one around an area and all the NPCs expect there to be hundreds of you there, and it just so happens that day there aren't, or there are hundreds of you and the world is written as if there's only one of you there, like, oh, the hero. So you have to consider that. Anyway, look at this. Let me take off. That always happens. Anyway, it doesn't actually always happen. It's because if I go like this, yeah, okay. I gotta delete those stairs there, but as you can see, I have 2 bone IK on my character's feet. I made it slower so that if he does get confused, like if his foot backs up and forward again, let me try and do it. See, it's harder to get nowadays. He's transitioning nicely, no matter what I do. Anyway, I also added a different blend state. Oh, and mouse moving, yeah, if I hold down both buttons, he moves forward. I have to debug it a little bit. I just added it, and it happens no matter what you're doing. So if you go into profile mode, you can do it, even though you're not supposed to. And I think if you jump or if you press some weird combo of buttons, yeah, you can get it to do it even though you're not holding down the buttons anymore. So there's bugs to work out there, but I worked out a blueprint, so anim blueprint, so for turning animations, and I turned it off in third-person mode for now. But sorry, when I go to combat, I'll make it a strafing position. So instead of doing this, he'll strafe, and when you're strafing, you can turn, but only when you're actually going. So anyway, for today I'm going to show off how I made these pants. I'm actually going to make a tunic for the girls, because this guy has a sufficient shirt and pants, and by the way, that fits on all the characters because I'm using MakeHuman. They have the same proportions for the body. The only thing that's different is I scale them in Unreal Engine, so this guy's taller, this guy's smaller because I scaled it here, but it's the same proportions on Unreal Engine, so all these clothes fit the same way. Otherwise I change their things like, their features. So that's all MakeHuman stuff. So then the same piece of clothing fits everybody no matter what. Funny thing is that this is actually the same process it takes to make clothes for Second Life. And considering I do sort of naturally, inherently want to have it's basically supposed to be more like an old school mud. So it's going to have a lot of emphasis on the social qualities and the play and dress up more or less. So, not that I want to dress as a female satyr or anything. But so anyway, I have to make a new blouse here because all I did was copy the skin for that. The skirt's decent though. I might end up giving her leggings and a tunic. So we'll see what I do today. But I've made the guy, and the guy's fine. After that, I'm going to do the NPC over here. And obviously, I'll make a bunch of NPCs. And I can make them with any body model proportion. So this guy's fat. And I made this is a shitty shirt I made from shitty shirt and pants, so I have to make good shirt and pants for him too. The only one that looks good overall is the skirt for the women and the guy pants. So I'll show you the other side of races. Again, the same one model of shirt and pants, fits in all of them. I used cloth simulation in Blender, and then froze it like that, and then weight painted it automatically. Not even automatically, I copied the weight paints from the MakeHuman and just did a little bit of adjustment. And as you can see, that's why I was down here, the shit never works out. So I'll probably redo these pants. They aren't period at all. These are 1800s, 1900s pants, technically. But they were the first thing I was able to do that I was like, that looks like pants! So I used it. So I'll have to end up doing that again too. And I'll probably end up giving him a more medieval tunic too. So for now, I guess technically the only thing that, actually really nothing looks good yet. So let's make some clothes. I got Blender open here. By the way, if you want to chat or whatever, I'm in the chat room thingy. You can say hi. So I just opened Blender for the first time. Actually, I should show you the whole MakeHuman thing real quick. So MakeHuman's an open source program you can download and make these characters, and it's all like scientifically designed to be like humans. So let's make it a guy. And what I have to do is, so if you want to make it for my game, for guys, just pump the muscle all the way up and leave everything else here alone. I'm gonna have Moorish people in the game, yeah. But for now, to keep all the proportions the same, they'll have different skin colors and stuff. But go this way, just because they do weird shit to make people look Asian or African. And it's like, I mean, yeah, it looks like fine, but I mean, yeah, if I want to be only that and only that, and it's fine. I mean, yeah, I could do that. You can do that if you want, but the thing is, it changes the body proportions. And so it's not, you know, it's just, there we go. I can change the skin color separately. Here, just under materials, skin, and then even the female skin. There you go. So yeah, tell me that doesn't, like, you know, how is that not any different or whatever? Same shit. Cool, right? So we're good. So just on the main modeling tab here, make sure it's muscle all the way up, and this is just for body proportions, because it's stupid. Is the game racist or am I? I don't know. Anyway, from there, leave this shit alone. Leave this shit alone. Leave this shit alone. Leave this shit alone. Same. Here's a bunch of custom things I downloaded from the forums. It's really easy to download these things if you want to do this, but you don't have to. These are just to make it look like this. If you want to make clothes for the characters, this is fine. I'm using the human model to make all the clothes, and it fits in all the others. So all of this stuff makes badass fantasy creatures and stuff. The funny thing is, this community of MakeHuman is mostly like, I don't know, sexually obsessed. Yeah, I wonder where Rust got its models from, eh? Pretty sure a lot of games do this, use the system. So if you recognize this shit, they do have, you can download the gender stuff. It's retarded, whatever. I got an orc face. You have things like geometries under here. You want to make sure clothes, just leave it off. Eyes go low poly. It doesn't really matter for the clothing because it doesn't go into game. But if you're gonna use it for the game, it's just better. Hair, leave it, do whatever, or leave it off. Teeth, this is just where the orc teeth come in, so it's not necessary either. And the same with this stuff, leave it alone. If you want to put some eyebrows or eyelashes on just to have a look, it doesn't matter, I delete it because it's already in the game. Yeah, this for clothing, for just making clothes, all you have to do is, like, I could literally use this because I'm just doing the body here. But I'm not actually doing anything with this, so save. Well, wait, so you have to do a couple more things, I'm sorry. Under pose animation, make sure it's game engine. Then you want to go under rendering, settings, metric, right? That's the one with centimeters. So make sure it's centimeters. Just ignore that. Alright, I think you just go to File, Export, FBX here. There you go, centimeter. Make sure centimeters clicked there. That's it. So, File, Export, FBX, centimeter. Click up here to choose your path. Click export. I've already done it, so I'm just gonna exit here. And then from Blender, you can just go press A when you're in object mode. Press A. Delete that. Oh, I don't have my keyboard thingy open here. I should do that for this. There you go. And File, Import, FBX. You get your model for the character you just made. So for example, I'm going to make female clothing, so let's do this. Hopefully I haven't accidentally written over this with something else. There's a thing you have to do technically here, which I'll show you because if anyone's watching this for me. So just Google MakeHuman Unreal Engine workflow. So if you just Google this, go into videos, it should be the first one. Workflow, MakeHuman Blender, UE4 workflow. Yeah, Blender Python script. Recognize this guy. Map Games. So, go here to this link. And his video will explain a lot of stuff for you if you want. But you can just copy. Yeah, I mean, he did all the work for us. In any window, you can go to a text editor. So I just use this one down here. Now this is if you had just imported it. First thing you want to do, this is something I've already worked on before, so actually, anyway, what you have to do is scale. So press S and go 0.01, and that'll bring it down to where I have it here. because I've already done it too. Then you're gonna paste your script in here. Oh no, first you have to do new. Click new, paste in here, and do run script. I've already done it here, so that's where I'm at. I've scaled it and I've run that script. And what that does is it twists all these bones around so it's in a slightly better place in Unreal Engine. It fixes a lot of wonky finger stuff, and that's like a real trick there. So, and he explains the whole process of importing and stuff, which I'm not going to do. So if you actually want to learn that stuff, just Google what you want to do. Thanks, Google. So from here, I'm going to start making a thing. So add a mesh. I'm going to start with a planes. This is a thing I learned I can do. And let's see. So under the create tab here on the left, no, under the tools, I have to be in edit mode, right? Okay. And we're looking for merge at center, and that makes it just into a dot. I'll grab the green arrow here to move it over. See that little dot there? Dot, dot, dot. Alright, so we have a dot, a vertex. Vertices, plural. I'll actually move it up as well a bit, so we'll start it here. And I'm actually looking at a book on historic costumes and how to make them, and they have a bunch of 2D fabric panels, and they're deceptively simple. You'll see the shape that I end up making here. And actually, you know what? I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to do the good old put it in the oven. Oh, look, I already have one in the oven. Oh my god. So, let me go back. But, I mean, basically what I do is you take a point. So, for example, if I have this point selected, you use C as a selector if you want. Select it, press enter. Imagine that's just one vertex, not all this stuff. And you can just press Shift D, and then you've got it. You press whatever axis you want. X, for example, moves it this way. Y moves it in and out. Z moves it up and down. I also have a modifier here for mirroring, apparently right now. So I'm going to place that there so I know it's somewhere, and then delete it, because that's a duplicate. Now to add the modifier, you click on click on here, in the gear, add modifier mirror, and that gives me this. And you're going to click Y and X on, make sure they're both checked, and make sure this is depressed here. And then you should see mirroring action left and right. So you'll take your first vertex, move it over here, make another one, select the four vertexes. For example, if I unselect these, if I were to select these three, there's a bunch of them selected now, so you won't see the effects well, but if I press F, it fills it in. So I'll just undo that. So you see the idea behind that. So that should give you, after you make a few panels, alright. Maybe I should just do that step for you, so you see it again. Well, this is what we end up with in a second. So let me go back, for example. Now I'll just continue from here. If you don't know how to make vertexes and panels and stuff yet, do that first. Learn some basics in Blender, because I don't know anything about Blender yet, and I'm a total noob, and it took me only a few days to learn how to do this stuff. So I'm just going to select everything. Let's see. This is where I was at, basically, earlier. I'd gotten to this point, and I don't know why I stopped. I think it looks pretty good. Ready to do the next step, maybe. Is there anything wrong with it? I wanted to... Oh, yeah, because it's bunching up funny. There was a gap still in here, that's right. I didn't give enough room on the edges. So, let me take this back. This is what it looks like. In edit mode, you can see there's a lot of stuff going on here. So if I were to try to move some of this out, I don't know how to do proportional editing yet, so that's just a big pain. So I'll just do it from earlier. So I saved this point earlier on so that I could do that again. Now I think I can subdivide from here and then extrude to make my sewing, and then it'll stitch together like real fabric. Oh well, please check out Streamlabs or GameWisp if you want to donate, but whatever. Okay. Subdivide 2, 3, 4 times. Get some good... I want to do one more. A lot of detail in there, because it'll deform more naturally, like cloth, like real cloth. It'll hang. Otherwise, it looks like kind of clingy and blocky and weird, which is we want to avoid. And it's Unreal Engine, so modern computers can probably handle it. Whatever, we'll find out later. I'll make a lower pop. So I'll Alt-click on this line up here to select, and then I'll use C with middle mouse button to deselect some of this. Oh, also, yeah, oh shit, before I do that, go back, undo. I want to change the back bit. Okay, so this is why I'm taking this slow, try and remember what my steps are here. Okay, nope, no, I want to apply the modifier for the mirror. Go to object mode so that I can do that. Okay. Go back to edit mode. Now I can edit just the back. Okay, see I don't have the front selected. Move that up there. Okay. So this way I have the neck in the front and the back is not. Also, I wanna, this gets in the way. Like I said, I delete it later. Just need the body for deforming purposes, then I delete it before importing it. But I need the skeleton. The skeleton is what animates the clothing later on to deform along with the body. So let's show you something. If I put on here, and let's pull this out a bit. Go to this last panel here is physics stuff. I'll give the body, I have the body selected, I'll give it collision. And because I've been messing around with this for a while, I know it's 0.015, which is just a little bit less than what the default they give you. At this scale is better because we're shrunk down so much for Unreal. I think what I can do is not scale down and use like a scaling option under export, so it'd probably make it more efficient. So I should look that shit up. But for now, I'm doing okay. So on the, I selected the cloth here. Now I'm under the physics tab here. I'm gonna click cloth now. A couple things I have to do here first, but we can just show you what happens now. If I were to say put in 5 frames and hit play, oh, look at that. Little provocative droppage. 10 frames. See, it starts playing and it'll play the last things it's rendered, and then it'll catch up, and then it'll loop through, since I did 5 frames first. So we need to stitch this together so it deforms and does something. That's where I'm at. Just go to edit mode. I could subdivide them now, because I've done that. And I'm not connecting these pieces. That's a trick. It'll be hard to connect them this way. Another way to do it is to build faces between these 4 points. Build a face along there, and then delete the face and keep the lines. So I'm doing a bunch of subdividing first. See, there's so many different ways I've tried doing this anyway, so basically what I want to do is unselect all that. So I want to select the stuff that's not here. Just use that tool. Okay, and then I want to select Shift Alt. Click there. And I believe that's it. Okay. So I don't want these to stitch together because that's the armholes. Same with the bottom. I'm going to get real close to the other side so I can see it close. Press E and Y so that those lines extrude back. And since I know they line up, I can do this. I messed up with those, so I messed with those, so I'm not connecting them anyway, so I'm free to do them. There's other ways to do, you could build it face by face if you want to do uneven things, but this is a nice little trick. So press A a couple times, get it all, and I'll remove doubles at 0.003, I believe, yeah. If you go any further right, you start seeing some deformations, but this catches at least maybe 0.001, 0.005, whatever works for you and what you got going. Okay, so now it's all together. And now what I've done, now I've got the equivalent of having made faces between all of my different fabric stuff. If it was 2 uneven things and it wasn't easy to do that, I would have ended up like this. So I'll switch to face mode. Unselect everything. Let's go to vertex view, wireframe view, I'm sorry. Okay. And see, since I have the dress selected and not the body, I'm selecting parts of the dress only, but through the whole thing. Be careful no matter what you do. What's going on over here? Oh, I didn't do the whole thing. Let's go back a few steps. Rewind the play 5 minutes and click down here, Shift Alt. Make a nice clean selection there. Okay, now I want to come extends along the Y vertex or axis. Okay, selected everything. I'm gonna remove doubles. Okay, now I've got everything. Let's go to face mode, wireframe, unselect everything with A, hit C to use this tool here. Okay, make sure we didn't accidentally get anything on the front, so I can go to solid mode to see it better. Always gotta be careful about accidentally selecting random things. From here, I'm gonna delete those faces. We're gonna keep the edges, so delete only faces. Now we have a bunch of lines connecting one side to the other. And actually, wait, let's undo that. Undo. So we still have this selected. First, we can add all of this to a vertex group. So click the plus button here, double click on it, and call it sewing. Make sure that it says 1 here under weight, and click assign. Now, if I unselect everything, and if I have this clicked here and hit select, it'll show me that that's all assigned. Also, I could go to weight paint mode and see that it's all red. All that stuff is red because and when I have this selected. If I were not in this group, it wouldn't be. So if you have a bunch of groups here for some reason, hey, you're confused. You probably copied this. Anyway, that's good. Now I can delete it, like I said. Delete and only faces. That just saves me a step of having to weight paint all the corners conveniently. So what I would have to do at this point now is select them all some way, whatever method you prefer best, and assign them to that group or paint them with weight painting like this. Undo that. See, weight 1. Go along the top and make it the center. Yeah, no, that's inconvenient. So when things are selected in edit mode, you can, let's, for example, if I wanted to add that, I could just enter and then assign. And if I went to weight paint mode, you would see it there. So I removed them, went to weight paint mode, bam. So you understand? So in edit mode, it's just, okay, alright, group my selection. Something I know I want to do first is move this closer to the body, move this closer to the body. So I'm going to select everything again on this side. Vertex mode, it's nice, make this big. Now, you can't always get everything, even in wireframe mode. Oh, not in wireframe mode. But still, even in wireframe mode, if the pixels overlap, you won't hit everything. So always do a quick check, see how things look. Alright, now I can hit G and Y. G grabs, move closer, and I can, just like in Photoshop, select the inverse of this object and press G, Y, move back. Alright, now it's easier to see this, not zoom, in this box here, solid again. Alright, so she's not clipping through anywhere. Now, from the settings that I put earlier, I haven't put any settings per se, but if I go to physics again, on this object, cloth, go down to sewing springs, enable it, and select that sewing vertex group as the place. And depending on what fabric you want to use here, let's go with cotton. No, leather first. What I've learned is doing this twice. So do leather to bring everything closer together, and it doesn't bend as much. And then simulate cloth on that, so it kind of wrinkles more. So I got that from a video I saw it on YouTube. So for now, I'll do leather, and leather needs a higher number, and I think even 50. So 5 on silk and 50 on leather if you want to know what a good range is. So they have all sorts of cool stuff here. It's so much fun to be had. I had set this outer body cloth, just this variable. That's the distance of the body. That's on the body, and on the cloth. Let's go with leather with the 50 there, and I could pin it if I want. Pinning will just sort of freeze an object and make it not affected or not affected to a certain amount, but instead what I'll do is grab this by Z, move it up a good bit, because physics will bring it down as well at the same time. Watch. Wow. You too can be an individual. I mean, you know, medieval clothing is a primitive human thing, so I as a noob am a primitive internet being, so you know, 2 plus 2 equals 4, right? Here we have a wild tunic suddenly appears. I actually feel pretty good about this one. We'll see how it goes. It takes a while. Leather takes a lot longer because of how many steps it has. As you can see, it freezes on every frame as it renders it. But once it gets to 10, which is the limit I've set on the end down here, then it will speed up and loop that animation of 10 frames. So if it's a good looking one, I'll set it higher, like maybe 25, and see. So now there's some problems first. Now, pretty cool. I think what's happening is that the collision force of the human body at this range, let me go here. The human selected and change this down to, oh yeah, 0.002. I know, totally different number. It's the scale we're at. Let's try that. This is like the body's distance that it repels items from. So it was blocking it too much, and then so the strength of the pull. See, the stitches aren't pulling it hard enough. So what I'm going to do is actually 50 is a good amount. So if I put it too higher, it'll like yank on the leather real awkwardly. If you want to pause it while it's rendering, it's a little tricky, but you can force it by just making sure you kind of hold down the button while it's doing that, and it might recognize. Let's see, it's there. You go. I got it on 8. So I don't want to change that. I want to change gravity. So this tab right here, scene. It looks like stuff. Looks like a scene. Yeah. Okay. Let's change gravity. You can turn it off just to stitch things together, but I like to turn this down to -5. So that's the amount of force that it'll apply to Z. So it was applying about 9 in the negative direction. So let's go back and simulate it again. And hopefully it'll pull together faster than it falls down. And that's why I raised it up a bit, as it falls down into the magic position. So this is, since it's clothing that drapes vertically over the human figure, then this conveniently works out like that. It's kind of cool. I think this might be the one. Yep, that's my digital wife. Something I just noticed is self-collision is not on. So I'll let that finish the last frame real quick, and you'll see it in action. Without self-collision, it's right there. So let's pause it. Go back to the physics tab with this cloth selected, and under cloth collision, that's right, we might want to change this too. I found actually this default setting is okay at this scale. The only lower you can go is 0.01. It starts to loop into itself. Let me try 0.002 on this as well. Now I'm not going to put self-collision on yet, because I want to see if this clips through the body yet. Because if not, then it's better to have as low of a setting as possible. I have a feeling this setting, putting it this low, clips through the body, and that's why I have left it as a default usually. See, watch out for clipping there. And it could happen on any frame. Oof, that looks quite realistic. See where it goes. It still needs the self-collision. I could have put it on, but I did not. Because I want to see that just in case there's any mistakes, you see that it's not because of self-collision, it's because I lowered this. So you gotta experiment. Just like music. Almost. Okay. As you can see, I can pause it and go frame by frame through. Yeah, it's definitely clipping a little bit. So let me put in self-collision, and we'll leave it at default setting for now, and I'll put this somewhere. Again, another 10 frames of rendering. The rendering show. Welcome to the rendering show. Making costumes. You like that? I've been trying to say that all day. Making copies. Okay. Sorry, I had to. And as you can see here, the rendering looks decent. We'll see what happens. It doesn't look like it clipped through on any of the frames, actually, so that's good. Now, I think it might be close enough that I can just grab some of these and stitch them together. Also, that might be the self-collision is too strong or not strong enough. Look, I'm getting that gap there again. I might be able to pinch it together, but we'll see. Maybe I can increase the strength. Is it too tight here? Because again, this is something I basically have to go back, rewind. It's very bumpy. That might just be the lighting. Is it getting pulled too tight? Looks like it might be. It looks cool on the back. And the arms are okay. So that stitch up there is quite reasonable. That's only like 4 or 5 vertices to stitch together. I could work with this. Oh no, look at that. Let's rewind it. Yeah, it's like it's just getting, so maybe I can make it stretch more. For example, maybe cotton. And we'll turn this way down. 10 is more appropriate for cotton, and it'll simulate faster. We're watching from inside the dress, that's kind of creepy. Sorry. But we're looking for this seam here, how it reacts, if there's more stretch to it or not. See, it's not even enough frames. 5 frames. I put it in my, see, more pull, 20 for cloth maybe, cotton, I mean. And it's not pulling from here, it's just all sorts of weird. I don't like the cotton preset, it's very wonky. Silk sometimes does better, but I'm not going to do that. Try denim. The idea. No, obviously that looks ridiculous. Stop. Enjoy the lovely sounds. Gotta get the band back together. Back to leather. Let's see the difference here. Damping. Just reading what all these do specifically again. I wonder if I can get no stretching. So let's do leather again and try less structural. See what the difference is. I bet about a half of what I had. I had 80 before, I did 40 now. Basically from here what we're going to do is just stitch together anything loose and copy the weight painting from the bones of the skeleton onto the vertex groups of the... Well, first we're going to attach it to the skeleton with automatic weight painting, and then we shall... So this has to be raised up again. Let's raise it up a lot more. I don't know if I paused it accurately. 75. It might yank on it too much. So. I don't know about that. I might have to increase the collision. Or it might bounce out. That doesn't usually happen. I have self-collision on. So I'm waiting to see what a couple more frames look like. See if we got at least the arms underneath fixed. If not, I have to basically go back to the beginning, show you the process again. Just get faster and faster at redoing this. Adjust that side to make it wider so that it fits properly. I think that's what I'll do. Because the settings, I can play with settings all day. It's really about making your model right. Let's look at it too and see what we can change about it. Points on the side. Look at that. I could do something that goes like that overall instead. And the sleeves I should make more narrow. So GX, move this the hell out. Okay, so actually this is what I meant to do earlier. I had not done this to this file. Move this out like a bit of a blink-like pattern here. And selecting this point up here, I'm going to move it down, GZ. GX. This is cool parts on it. Shorter sleeve. It's a really late big loop though. It'll probably look really bad. But let's see. Grabbing that point, moving it down. Clip the shoulder that way. And I don't want to add too many basic shapes before subdividing and doing all that jazz. Keep it simple. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll apply the modifier of the mirror in object mode. Grab this one, move it back up, and grab everything. Lots of subdivisions. I did 6 times from there. Let's see. sewing, and shrinking will be sewing group, and 50 for leather, some leather, sure cloth collision on, let's bump it up actually, because I remember it being better bumped up, and let's just hit it, see what, no wait, move it up, Z, there we go, and let's just do 5 frames, that's a lot of vertices. See what happens. And I think I forgot a step, or it's just structural is at 15. It's going on there. That is not leather reset. I gotta reset the numbers somewhere. Make sure I get that pause button. Let's go to leather reset. There we go. Okay. I don't know why. Let's try it again. So with this many vertices, it's a lot more to process. But hey, it's not bad. See what happens. Again, mostly we're testing if the width matches on the sides. So let's give it 10 frames. This one down here. There you go. Extend the frame, so it went to 5, and now it's rendering the next one. Message to the naysayers. There's nothing that says this can't be an MMO. All I need is somebody to do some server shit, and it can be me. It's probably easier to find somebody else. I mean, I got it on Steam. It works. I haven't tested it with more than a couple people on shitty computers, but it works. Oh, look at that. Might need a little bit of yeah, this is where it comes down to variables, but if the sides here, if that stitches up, that would be in business. Let's see what happens with a few more frames. Is that almost at 10? Bit more and give it 15 frames and step away, talk about science, and just go watch Amy in a Cage. It's a movie I worked on, and then you should go Google Engrams movie. That's a movie I made on my lonesome. and stuff so far. Maybe you know how to do this better, and you can help me with my workflow. I've only been able to find a few YouTube videos about this, and I mean, close enough. I did make one pair of pants successfully. I never did the weight painting stuff, so once I get past this, I might find more tips on people who have done this specifically for Second Life, because that's the thing, is it's the same workflow. So I could literally just, I could just pretend I'm a Second Life player learning how to make clothes for my character and Google that stuff. So could you. And like I said, you just follow some basic instructions for the settings of MakeHuman, and your props and clothes and stuff that you make could be in my game. Seeing how it gets any further. Maybe this video will be good looking back in posterity. It's almost 15 minutes now, so I think I'll probably just take whatever I get here and try and export it into the game real quick in the last 10 minutes here of an hour, and then stop it so I have a nice concise video. But yeah, maybe I'll let this go to 15 frames first. Gotta wait for that. Listen to Crimson and Clover in the meantime. No, it's Beyond Tilting. Cinnamon and all that stuff. This is that jam though. No, this is Cinnamon and Clover. And then next is Crimson and Sugary. You see, because it sounds like that Butthole Surfers song meets that 60s song with all those words in it. Really close. I might not have to do much work on the connecting pieces up here. Given the amount of rendering, I might not even have to do the silk render after this. This might just be a nice thing to use. These settings on the right, it's been up on the screen long enough for you to see. It's all the stuff that makes it happen. Basically, sewing through 2 more frames. The shoulders look like they're connected. Figure looks good. Snap back to here. No. Go to object mode. Last frame. Are you serious? I have to render it out again. And then apply it. Should not have done that. Really? Just, alright, well. It's live. We'll do it live. Steps, but then it moves at a different rate. So really the best is let's do this. Once it gets to 15, learn from my mistake. Don't go back to edit mode. Just what you're gonna do is go to the modifiers tab up here where the gear is. Gear right there, right now, I'm following along. And from modifiers, hit apply on that cloth, and it'll be there. It'll be stuck there. Then you can go to edit mode and click on the groups up here. Vertex groups and select your sewing group and hit select. Now you have all of those vertices along the edges here, all the stuff that's getting sewn together, you'll have it selected. And you can again hit over here under the tools on your edit mode, turn on under edit. You'll see merge doubles. And just maybe play with that a little bit. Maybe you only need to fix a few of them. You can grab a couple and physically, or you can merge them at center. Basically from that point, then you need to click on while you're not, click on the fabric material. Then with the skeleton visible, turn it back on. Part of this project. Yeah, so that's something I had done as I had clicked on the eyeball earlier. So if you didn't see the skeleton this whole time, you're like, what the hell? How do you do that? It's just this eyeball right here under the roof. Oh, that's another huge thing. Before you export it out, you have to rename this orange guy and this skeleton guy. They're both named something like Game Engine, I think. You want to just click it, rename to Brute. That's the magic trick to actually being able to read it in Unreal Engine. So you have to do that. I've done it on another live video. I showed how I imported a whole bunch of races over and over again. So you can see that elsewhere, I think. Pretty sure I streamed it before. But I'll have to do that for my NPCs. You'll see when I make NPCs. Just sitting here watching rendering. Hopefully we'll get another live viewer in here who can chat. It'd be nice to chat. Do you like to chat? So, sorry, that was just a weird voice. Beautiful animating cloth animation again. And we can just watch it. Ta-da! You can pick any frame in here that works best. Maybe I want to pause, go to the end, just take it back a few steps until the best connection, or the first connection. So anything after that because it's connected. You can always render more. Let it, follow through. Something. I think I rendered another frame because I clicked the right button while it was on 15. Yeah, so I rendered that frame. I think I should leave it. It's like such a weird thing. Actually, just that one frame. Really, yeah, I should let it resolve. So let's pump it up to 30. Let it render that much longer. It might calm down after a minute and not take as long to render. We shall see. And it's a lot of vertices. save it. I'm sure some guy watching this, maybe some girl in the future watching this and goes, "Save, why aren't you saving?" Okay. Save as. I'm just going to end up deleting a whole bunch of files once I finally get something good. Once I have my solid standard intro clothing, I'm basically just deleting everything else and moving forward for all these rough projects. Maybe a couple of them will work out. Making tights is really easy. You basically take that selection tool. When you have the MakeHuman body selected in object mode, go to edit mode, and then using the selection tool of your purpose, the selection tool of your preference, just pick the part of the body that you want to extend. Select that part only, press S, move the mouse around or type in like 0.03, something like that, 0.01, and that'll just pull it away from the body perfectly. And that exact shape will be saved. And you can make some tights and like pantaloons that way. I'll make some, like maybe some cool gloves. Gloves should be easy. Shoes are going to be the hardest thing, because I think I really have to make like 3D objects. We'll see about that. I know there is a leather boot in MakeHuman. It takes all of my computer's processor to do this, so I have a pretty good computer too, so you know this is some legit work it's doing here. It does the work so you don't have to. Oh hey, we got another viewer. What's up? We're just sitting here one-way communicating, because that's the nature of media. Feel free to type something and I'll probably see it maybe a minute later, and then when I talk back you'll hear it like 10 or 15 seconds later, so we'll get along. We'll get along nicely. You can check out my process here. I'm waiting for it to render out what looks like my final product. I could do some more rendering to it first, maybe simulate a finer material other than leather, so it gets some smaller wrinkles in there. But I'll do that after I connect the dots on this and make it all one seamless object. I'll also unwrap the UVs. There's regular unwrapping and smart unwrapping. And apparently, smart unwrapping is better. So just remember that. How do you do it? You press U. First you have to mark a seam. We'll use the sewing seams. So easy. I'll show you in a sec. So it's got a few more frames to render out, so I'm just going to sit here for a minute. You can comment, or maybe I'll tell some random story at some point. I am Cuban, so I have to talk a lot. This is some guys I jammed with a lot over the summer. This is all improvised stuff we did this year. Last year. This is January 1st, 2017. The age of disinformation. Yeah. No more person watching. Oh well. Slant like I wanted to. It'd be easy enough to do all this again. But for now, I would at least have. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't look. It's true though. It doesn't look very. Shall we say medieval? So what I have to do is move it. I have this saved, so I can. Keep it. It does look like a little bit like a moo or something. Like I don't know. It just doesn't really have the proper look, the cut of the jib. I made it even. That's what I did. I got rid of the up and down, and I think maybe the up and down looked better. This is actually a song that one of the guys wrote. This is like the only one in this whole thing that's a song. frames to go here. I might just want to use this. I have the skirt underneath it, though. It's going to clip a lot. And I would get rid of the skirt and I would make it... Yeah, let me make this more medieval. Why not? I know this works. That's the thing. I know how the settings to do. I'm going to save this. Let's just pause this shit. Definitely not. I'm not going to go much further with this one. I know you're like, oh my god, you're almost there. Why'd you stop? Because I'm almost where? Bridge to nowhere, my man. Or a woman. Okay, still gotta wait. I might as well just let it finish. And I won't apply it yet, because if I save this and I want to go back for some reason. 29! Oh, no. I thought I'd clicked pause, but apparently not. I just selected something on the screen or something. Control Z. What the fuck happened there? I think I just moved something. Jesus Christ. This is really bad. Good thing I wasn't like planning on moving forward with this part. Oh no. This is why you don't use the mouse while rendering. Is it still rendering? Okay. Alright, Jesus Christ. Just, it's fine where it is. I can save. Let's go back to here. Alright. Grabbing this. G. X. That worked. X. I know, I'm pressing a bunch of random buttons by accident. X. I'm trying to call out the ones that are intentional. This is a quote-unquote cover. It's alright. We kind of started doing it by accident without anyone planning on it. So it was like, oh, what's happening? Oh, we're playing this song, aren't we? Oh, okay. I guess we're playing this song, huh? Okay, then what I wanted to do... It's fine for this. Apply that mirror modifier into object mode. Now, go back to edit mode. There we go. GC GX. That should suffice. Okay, let's see how fast I can do the rest. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I should do that many again. A lot. It looked... Alright, I'll do it one more time. Let's deal with it. Okay. Oh, wait. Back. Forgot about that. And this is like almost a cover of a Postman's Engine song. I say this every time. But was not intentional. I don't think either of these guys ever listened to them. Maybe one of them. But it's like, you know, universal chord progressions, right? Am I right? Okay. Edit mode. Now we can... I want to do it this way. Because... There we go. I do believe that worked. Okay. Spinning around and around. You will find your feet. And a moon. Ones, faces, and wireframe. So be careful about select those dots there. Since you use middle mouse button to rotate the camera and to erase things, depending on whether or not. So I can't even tell you, it's like muscle memory at this point. You'll figure it out. Just learn the basics and then you'll get here in like 3 days. So I have them selected, delete faces. No wait, first I want to, because it's easier this way, to add the vertex group of scrolling. Assign weight of 1. Now delete faces, and I think that's really mostly it. Object mode in solid. I can move it up. Physics. Make this collision. We'll save this as one. Take 4. Female tunic, take 4. Collision 0.002. Or not, maybe. I always mess around with it. Wearing cloths. Sewing. 10 frames. But see how much faster I got at doing that? I think I even got it in under the... No, it's an hour 12 now, stream. I think I only did that in like 2 minutes. To go from a few vertices to correctly cloth simulating. So, you know, if you just watch that last 5 minutes there, you should be good to go. What I'll do is I'll put a post on Reddit saying, but on the subreddit for Blender, saying, you know, help me, I'm a noob. Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. So I forgot to move them closer to each other. Just a quick thing. Trying to pause it. It takes so long to render stuff sometimes. To simulate cloth at least. I keep saying render. Because I'm sure somebody's like, oh my god, what an idiot. Screw you, Kyle. Good. Control I would work. Good to know. frames. Just make sure it looks decent. And this might be a serviceable medieval tunic for ladies and men. Like, what I could do is save this project file here and just re-import the male body, and that same piece of fabric will deform differently on the different base models, and that different deformation will fit perfectly on all 10 races. Because I am a golden god, and I rule. Just in case you wondered. It's like my 2 favorite quotes ever since I started doing this. It's so satisfying. It's better than movie making. Better than MMO playing. Come, join me on the dark side. See, since I only did 5 frames, I can tell it's gonna drop. GZ. There. Oof. Maybe too much. Do 5 again. It's a beautiful process, though. A noob could do this. Fifth frame. No, it's already going below. Oh, did I? That's right. Gravity. This is FMG4. Save and play. This is that song. Same song. My friend Ryan wrote and taught us. This is like that. 15. Did I raise it earlier? It's a dramatic success. It's the jam on it. looks close. Let's pause it. What's going on? Why does it look totally weird? A little totally weird. Oh yeah, it's that force. Force. Let's go back to maybe 60. Could use a little more force, but not that much. And I think I'll move it up a little more. Let's see what happens. Different shapes, different weights, you know. That's how this saying goes. It's like pulling in for some reason. I've seen this before. No, what's happening here? Yeah, it's too much force. Let's go back into 25. Playing with settings. Sometimes I think what's better to do is just turn gravity off, pull it together. Let's do that. Let's do the two separate processes. Processes? Pause it, and so I'll turn gravity off, lower it to where I need it to be, pull it together, and then I'll set it and forget it. So up here, this one, gravity. See what happens out. Maybe it'll be faster. No, because there's still a lot of vertices. And again, this is all placeholder. I just want to have my characters look decent and medieval while I do programming stuff. I'm a noob at this, but pretty good, I think, at the programming side of things. Not that I'm a programmer, but the logic, that stuff. The game stuff. I got a nice game waiting for you. So if anyone wants to help me out by doing this part better, you know, you can see what I've done for my basic standard. I might play with some animations after putting this in. Or I might not focus on this. So as you can see, they're staying uniformly distant to each other, I think. Yeah, this is good so far. Oh, I rendered another frame. I can give this like 20 frames, see what happens. Just let it settle at that point. I'm gonna pick the best frame. Yeah, let's give it 15 and go. Looks like I had the one viewer the whole time, but they left when I went AFK. That's cool. Or maybe they got sick of the music. I like this stuff. That's 4/4 slow again. It's a great track. A little longer, and we'll have something. 50 frames. Just get a nice render time. In the meantime, I'm just looking at stuff about my movies. I don't need to be live, but when I'm done with this, maybe I should just close the stream and then start another one when I get a good render. That would be smart. Since my one viewer dropped, if anyone else is watching, you're even cooler than whoever that was.